The Senate just confirmed Trump's anti-LGBT Secretary of State, thanks in part to some Democrats. A lawyer who spent his whole career fighting against equality just got a lifetime appointment to be a federal judge. And Louisiana Republicans are convinced that sex with animals is the key to restoring the state's ban on sodomy. It's even weirder than it sounds. We'll have the week's top LGBT news and how it affects you on Weekly Debrief. If you're enjoying Weekly Debrief, help keep it going with a pledge of $1 or more a month on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/mattbaum or click the link in the description to join the folks who make these videos possible. America's new Secretary of State believes that queer people are perverts, that same-sex couples shouldn't be allowed to get married, and he wants to kick queer people out of the military. This week, the Senate approved the nomination of Mike Pompeo after a Democrat, Chris Coons of Delaware, changed his vote to move the nomination out of committee. As Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo will have oversight over assistance for refugees fleeing persecution abroad, sanctions against anti-LGBT regimes, and recognition of queer families moving to the United States. His approval is a dream come true, not only for anti-LGBT extremists in the US, but also for violent dictators abroad who'll be able to continue persecuting queer people without fear of reprisal. The Senate also handed a lifetime federal judicial appointment to Kyle Duncan. He's a former lawyer whose previous career highlights include fighting to prevent trans kids from attending school, fighting to stop same-sex couples from getting relationship recognition, and fighting to prevent same-sex parents from having legal protections for their kids. Duncan's just the latest in a long line of judges approved under Trump who have made a career out of resisting equality for LGBTQ Americans. And now he can continue that work as a judge on the taxpayer dime for the rest of his life. In Louisiana, Republicans are mobilizing to oppose a law criminalizing bestiality. It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. A handful of politicians want to preserve legal loopholes that make it harder to prosecute the sexual abuse of animals because they're afraid that it could promote gay sex between humans. I wish I could explain the logic behind this, but there simply isn't any. Current law in Louisiana includes a long list of prohibited sexual activities. On that list is sex with animals, but the way that it's written doesn't cover the online selling of animals for sex. So the solution is simple: modernize the law to cover online sales. But not so fast, said 10 Republicans who are trying to block the update. The list of prohibited sex also includes sodomy. Even though that portion of the law was declared unconstitutional by the U.S. Supreme Court, Louisiana Republicans want to keep that part of the law on the books. And they're concerned that any change to the state's sex laws could undo the ban on sodomy, even though that was already undone over a decade ago. At least that's why they say they're opposing a tougher ban on bestiality. Their reasons don't make any sense, so only they know their true motivations. This week's frustrating news in the Senate and at the state level underscores how important it is to have elected officials who will support LGBT equality and will outnumber the votes of those who do not. So if you're looking for something to do about all this, connect with the Victory Fund, which works to elect leaders who will stand up for equality. Head over to victoryfund.org to see what's happening in your state and to take action wherever you are in the world. Let me know about stories that need covering at Matt Baum on Twitter and in the YouTube comments. And thanks to everyone who makes Weekly Debrief possible with a pledge of $1 or more a month on Patreon. Head over to patreon.com/mattbaum or click the link in the description to join the folks who make the show possible. And I'll debrief you next week.